In the ancient Vedic tradition, we can find a very interesting concept of the three gunas, psychological modes characteristic to the matter, prakriti in Sanskrit. These qualities are inherently present in everything and everyone, but in varying proportions. Sattva is the mode of goodness, harmony, peace, tranquility, purity, knowledge, and truth. Rajas is the mode of passion, activity, excitement, energy, motion, and change. Tamas is the mode of imbalance, chaos, darkness, apathy, inertia, and dullness. The three gunas can be easily understood if we analyze how they manifest in one's daily life. When we drink a morning cup of coffee in order to boost our energy, when we exercise while listening to martial industrial music, when we are busy accomplishing our daily to-do list, then we are acting in the mode of rajas. When we are watching the morning news with an anxious and irritated look on our face, when we shout at someone who made us angry, when we are buying an expensive car because of our greed, then we are also acting in the mode of rajas. The quality of tamas is related to rest, relaxation, and sleep, which are all good in moderation. An excess of tamas occurs when we are lazy, when we procrastinate too much, when we consume alcohol and drugs that becloud our mind, or when we engage in binge-watching TV series with a mindless, passive attitude. As we can see, neither of these modes is inherently good or bad. Everything depends on the context. Even the most virtuous of us need a certain amount of rajas and tamas in order to successfully operate within the confines of the material world. One of many goals of spiritual practice is to cultivate the third quality, sattva. When we eat healthy, fresh, and nutritious food, when we exhibit positive character traits such as goodness, kindness, tolerance, wisdom, self-control, and calmness, when our thoughts are clear as the azure midsummer sky, when our motives are pure as the perpetual snow on alpine peaks, then we are leading a sattvic lifestyle. Understanding the incessant interplay of the three gunas in the material world is certainly helpful if we wish to avoid blindly following negative consumerist trends. For example, a person who is predominantly rajasic, thus driven by greed and selfishness, living under the illusory spell of matter, can become obsessed with frenetic money making because he or she wants to buy new cars and gadgets all the time. Very often we observe that when businessmen or popular celebrities are not busy rushing after gold, they sink even lower to the mode of tamas, bewildered by the superficial glamour of the sensual pleasures. They participate in mind-numbing consumption and intoxicate themselves, as if they were animals. On the other hand, people who are predominantly sattvic are capable of seeing the world as it is. Even when they are walking among the richest of the world, they remain sober in judgment, calm in action, and inwardly detached from the hustle and bustle that surrounds them. Rarely do they stray from their path of virtue, and if they do, they feel remorse and immediately realize their mistake. That cannot be said about those who are perpetually imprisoned in the throes of manic passion, or dark ignorance. The concept of the three gunas can also be applied to our environment. For this reason, those individuals who have very little in common with the modern world should consider moving to the countryside, because leading a sattvic lifestyle is much easier there. Although rapid urbanization is progressively wiping out the pristine beauty and tranquility of rural regions, it is still possible to find the ideal conditions for making spiritual progress and reinforcing the best tendencies and qualities within us there. In many European countries, we can find remains of ancient menhirs, stone circles, temples, and sacred groves. These places of worship are saturated with sattvic energy. Visiting them is a source of spiritual rejuvenation. Conversely, in the congested city streets and among the gleaming skyscrapers, one can find an abundance of rajas. An unhealthy spirit of restlessness and competitiveness permeates the minds of human ants crawling through these concrete anthills. Only those who are bewitched by the illusion of attaining happiness through the satiation of endless materialistic cravings may thrive in such artificial urban paradises. Finally, tamasic environments include slums, prisons, bars, pubs, cemeteries, and rock or metal concert venues. Because of the high risk of being contaminated by the negativity present there, we should avoid having anything to do with such places. It might be a bold statement, but I believe that many problems of the modern world, including irrational consumerism and excessive attachment to materialistic luxuries, could be solved if people were educated about the importance of incorporating a sattvic mindset and behavior into their daily lives.